Sometimes life really does throw you a curveball. Bethel University senior outfielder Andrew Dillon is all too familiar with that phrase, thanks to a medical diagnosis he received last February. April 25th, 2026, Jenkins Stadium in Mishawaka, home of the Bethel Pilots. Bethel is celebrating its seniors on the baseball team, including outfielder Andrew Dillon. But to understand the magnitude of this day and why it's so significant that Andrew is even in a Bethel Pilots uniform, we need to go back in time. You see, Andrew has always loved baseball.
As a kid, I was always out in the backyard playing with wiffle balls, and Dad got me into t-ball. I think I was 3 or 4, and ever since then, been playing every summer, and it was always my dream to play in college.
Every day I'd come home from work. I usually get home around 3:30. He'd be standing there with his ball glove and my ball glove. And Dad, you ready to play catch? From memory, I never told him no. I dropped my lunchbox, did whatever, and we played catch.
In 2024, Andrew's childhood dream of playing college ball came true, and he quickly became an important part of the Bethel baseball program, playing nearly 40 games his freshman season. Things were going well for the young outfielder, but then that changed. February 14th, 2025.
Well, I was headed to a chapel on a Monday morning, and as I was walking over there, I felt a little bit sick, and I was. As I was leaving that chapel service, I started throwing up in front of everybody, and then that kind of continued for the next week or so. I'd have really bad headaches, and I was just throwing up for no reason, I thought. And so after about a week or two, it got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, and I went into the ER, and that's when they found the tumor.
Not just any tumor, a grade 4 brain tumor. As Andrew sat in the emergency room of Beacon Hospital in Granger awaiting his results, Bethel head coach Seth Zartman was in the middle of a run-of-the-mill weekday practice with the team. But after receiving the news about one of his players, he says the mood completely flipped like a switch.
Anything baseball just goes by the wayside. You know, you're not thinking about the fact that he's earned a spot in the outfield, that he's an everyday bat in your lineup. That's really not what you're thinking. You're thinking about him, okay, what's going on? Because at that point, we really don't know many details.
A few days later, Andrew went in for surgery to remove 90% of the tumor. From there, the comeback journey for Andrew began, one that his mother was 110% sure he would be able to pull off.
Did you think for a second that there was any chance he wasn't going to end up back on the field with Bethel because of just what you know about him?
Never crossed my mind. I knew he would be back on the field.
I remember one of the first things he said, he said, I'm going to be back on the field no matter what happens.
But coming back from surgery, chemo, radiation, and the mental fatigue was no small task.
The first time I came back here and started taking some swings off the tee, after maybe 5 swings, I was gassed. And I'm like, am I ever going to be able to play at the college level again?
Still, Andrew never lost his sense of humor, especially when the doctor told him his tumor was the size of, you guessed it, a baseball.
It was definitely ironic. Not really a laughing matter, but I was trying to keep my humor through it all, and I just thought that was, you got to chuckle at it. I'm a baseball player, and there's a baseball inside my brain.
March 22nd, 2025, Bethel versus Huntington. After missing 23 games and nearly 5 weeks to the day after his tumor was found, Andrew was finally ready to return to the diamond. His return to the plate, giving the crowd a bit of a jump scare.
So we put him in, and so, of course, as he's walking the plate, people are clapping, and because everybody knows, the situation. And so he gets in, very first pitch, it hits him. And I think it hits him in the arm, elbow, somewhere in there. And then it was like, the whole place just went silent. He didn't flinch at all. He's like, it's part of the game.
Andrew has returned with a vengeance in the 2026 season, holding the highest batting average on the team. In addition to his faith, Andrew found strength from his teammates, who all donned shirts in support of him, as well as shaving their heads and putting a button with Andrew's number 2 on their hats.
Seeing them all rally around me like that, it was so encouraging, and I think it helped with the motivation to get back out here with them.
April 25th, 2026, Senior Day at Jenkins Stadium. Andrew, his mom, and dad all walking together on the field, with smiles on their faces stretching from ear to ear as Andrew was honored amongst his fellow seniors.
For me as a dad, knowing what he went through to get back, I don't know how he did it.
In recent weeks, Andrew received news that his cancer has unfortunately returned, but talking to him during our interview, you'd have no idea.
Through the whole thing, I've had strong dependence on God, and the Bible tells us not to worry.
May 2nd, 2026. Andrew will graduate from Bethel University with mom and dad there for every step. On the campus of Bethel University in Mishawaka, Leo Goldman, ABC 57 News.